The man leaned his head out to check the traffic jam ahead, but nearly crashed into a motorcycle, and the delivery rider immediately stopped and waved at him mockingly. At this moment, Jack was furious and burst out a string of insults, completely losing his calm, and immediately drove off trying to chase the delivery rider, not knowing that he had already entered a death trap carefully planned by the killers. However, just as he entered the alley, he nearly collided with an oncoming car, and after narrowly escaping, when he was about to catch up to the rider on an uphill road, an elderly woman collecting scrap slowly pushed her cart across the intersection. Luckily, he braked in time to avoid an accident, and seeing that the elderly woman had difficulty moving, he had no choice but to take another road, unaware that this was actually a woman disguised as an old lady, whose task had already been completed. Next, as he continued cursing, a well-dressed beautiful woman walked by from the side, instantly drawing Jack's attention, but just as he became distracted, a large truck suddenly drove straight toward him from the front. Fortunately, he reacted in time, sharply turned the steering wheel, and pulled over to the side, narrowly escaping disaster. What he did not know was that this was also a man in disguise, who, after successfully completing his task, quickly slipped into a nearby restroom, took off his clothes, and disguised himself as a construction worker. Just as Jack was about to give up the chase, the delivery rider appeared in front of him once again. At this moment, Jack was extremely angry, blamed everything on the delivery rider, sped up, and paid no attention at all to the construction area ahead. The delivery rider made a sharp turn into an alley and successfully shook him off using piles of garbage. In his rage, Jack stomped hard on the accelerator, trying to reverse the car, but accidentally got the wheels stuck in a sandpit. Angrily, he got out of the car and frantically pressed the horn, trying to find someone to help. At this moment, a gust of wind blew over, knocking down a banner hanging on a metal frame, and the rope accidentally tipped over a bucket of paint on the frame. Seeing his car covered in paint, he instantly exploded, yanked down the banner to wipe off the paint, not realizing that this action nearly pulled the metal frame down. Luckily, the frame was blocked by the walls on both sides, preventing an accident. But just as he thought he had escaped disaster, the wall struck by the metal frame suddenly collapsed, and the unlucky Jack was instantly buried under bricks. At this time, he still had faint breathing, and the ambulance quickly rushed to the scene. But just as it was about to arrive, a broken-down truck blocked the only road. The medical staff had no choice but to get out and walk, and these lost minutes were the truck driver's carefully planned final strike. The second teammate, now disguised as a worker, quickly retreated, and the news later reported the incident as an accident.